Alright, so take 3. I was explaining about the clarifying cards for this Five of Wands, which talked about a lot of bickering and fighting and, just a lot of conflict, whether it's mental or external. So, like I said, I have the Strength cards to start out clarifying it. I was just talking about how you have that inner strength, that power, that courage, to take control of your gentleness, and to just really be who you are and to stand in your power. So I guess that's where the conflict starts out too. If you have that strength and you don't care anymore if you fight with him or not. And it goes from there to talk about this Page of Coins, and he's giving you an offer. He's offering you something, and whether it's just communication, and it doesn't have to be like a huge communication, but just like the slightest of communications. But he's offering you something, and it's something practical. It's something trustworthy. It's a message about something material, and it's talking about laying foundations down. So it's talking about how you have the strength to lay down these foundations. All right. Or, at least, if not you, then the state of your relationship has that power, because that's what we're clarifying right now. And here we go with the Ace of Cups, talking about getting that romantic relationship, that abundance, that cup floweth over, that, new love, kind of revitalized feeling. So I believe that's what's being offered. That fight has to do with somebody having the strength to make that offer of that new love. And when that new love comes in, that's when this Justice card comes in. And things are going to be more balanced. Alright? And so we go from there to talk about the path that you want to follow. And the card is this one, the Ten of Wands. This is actually the path that you want to follow. Now, with the Ten of Wands, what happens is... my phone keeps making noise. Okay, so with the Ten of Wands, what happens is it talks about being overburdened. It talks about struggling and overextending. Talks about taking on too much, but sometimes it talks about just letting things go. So the path that you want to follow is just letting things go. You're feeling overburdened and you just want to let it go already. And that's when this clarifying card of the Queen of Spears comes in with the Eight of Swords. Queen of Spears, she's very passionate, very energetic, knows what she wants and goes for it. And when we talk about the Eight of Swords, it talks about feeling trapped. So that's pretty much why you're wanting to just lay down these burdens. Because you're very passionate, you want to take on an adventure, but you're just feeling trapped in this relationship or in what's going on in it. And you're feeling that theft, that cheating, that frenemy kind of energy that we saw in the beginning. And from there, we go on to the path that the partner wants. And that talked about the Chariot. He wants movement, fast-paced. He wants something swift. He wants things to change. That's what he wants. And when I clarified it, I got the Fool. So he wants to start a new beginning, something very childlike. Take a leap, don't think about it. The Ace of Spears, which talks about passion. It talks about, things going your way. It just talks about action, a lot of passion, a lot of, things being very heated and romantic. And then you came up. So he just wants to jump into something with you. I don't know if it's maybe like a friends with benefits kind of situation, or just if he wants to just heat up the boudoir situation, but that's what he wants. And then it came with the Nine of Cups as an overall energy. And for the Nine of Cups, it talks about self-reliance, independence, refinement, luxury. So he just wants to give it all to you, especially in the boudoir. He wants to give you that power, that status, that elevation of you are what's important to him. Ah, my phone fell. Alright, so the aspects to consider is the Five of Pentacles. That's the aspects to consider in this relationship, and that actually talks about either a financial hardship, maybe somebody it doesn't have money right now to really give you that status that they feel you deserve, or it's talking about feeling abandoned, homeless, maybe a divorce, unemployment, a scandal, alienation, negative circumstances. So somebody's feeling left out in the cold, one way or another. And when I defined it, when I clarified it, actually, I should say, it actually talked about, first one was the Three of Wands, and that one talked about moving, or there being some kind of growth, being happy with their decision. So somebody's left out in the cold, or something changed and they're happy with the decision. Maybe there's a long distance relationship, but there's some kind of success, some kind of freedom. And from there it goes to the Wheel of Fortune. So it's a new beginning. It's some kind of karmic, just some kind of karmic new beginning, things changing. You know, just things happening the way they're supposed to. And it talks about the Ten of Spears, which goes back into just things being very hard and feeling very burdened. You know, things being, how should I say, just things feeling like very stressed out. Maybe there's some delays, and that could be what that abandoned feeling is to the aspect of the relationship. It's just feeling burnt out and exhausted. But at the end of the day, I got the Star card, so they're saying they're holding out hope. They still believe they can work things out with you. So they have hope. Now for the outcome or the question, I got the Eight of Cups. Alright. And the Eight of Cups, it actually talks about traveling again. So it looks like somebody's going to be traveling a lot. And it talks about self-discovery. So if you're not traveling, like physically, you're traveling emotionally into that self-discovery phase. Leaving behind a bad situation, moving on, walking away, and abandoning something, which goes back to that Five of Pentacles card. And when I clarified it, I got the Page of Swords again as a clarifier, which talked about truth, but a slow-moving truth, and somebody speaking what needs to be spoken, communication, but kind of in an immature way. And then I got the Temperance card, which talks about somebody, it talks about somebody doing like some kind of study, maybe an emotional balance. Like they're trying to look on how to improve themselves and bring themselves peace and diplomacy into the relationship. And then I got the Seven of Spears, which just talked about being very defensive and able to stand your guard and defend yourself. And then I got the Seven of Cups, which talks about working hard on the situation. Right? And for the overall energy, I had the Three of Wands again. And it talked about, again, moving to foreign lands or moving on to something else, a new goal, exploration, foresight, setting things into motion, or a long-distance relationship. And that came with the Moon. So things are going to be unknown, but there's going to be a lot of things going on. And let me see if I can get one more clarifying card. So it's moving on into that unknown and still getting that stability, that foundation, those roots that you want to have in the relationship, because overall energy is he's going to be the Emperor. He's going to be very in control of himself and very authoritative of what needs to be done. Okay? And that is your reading for Leos. Bye.